Hi, Crystal.
Hi.
Hi. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Did you find the place already?
I did.
I know it's can be a little confusing.
Yeah, it's a little tough trying to find the proper room and everything.
Oh, yeah.
But let's get to it. Good afternoon, I guess to begin with. Since we last spoke, I learned that your company has actually made a profit in light of the economic downturn,
Yeah.
which is great. I guess more people are looking to refurbish what they have instead of completely replacing it. So, I mean, congrats with that.
It's been really good for us.
Yeah, awesome. Well, congrats for that.
Thank you.
This pretty much puts AMCOT in a great place as far as demand is concerned, and also places more value on your engineers and your employees. So, one of my questions was one of your concerns from last time. Basically, have you experienced any issues with competitors trying to recruit your employees or basically steal them from under you guys? Have you ever?
We've had some issues because lately, since we don't have a CRM system, like we've had issues where since they've had to do so much admin work that they just leave. They want to go to a different company that has a CRM system in place.
Right, and a lot of your competitors I saw actually take advantage of the CRM services and different systems and things like that. So just curious, why haven't you guys jumped on, I guess, that bandwagon as of yet?
Honestly, we've just been so busy that we've never had a chance to, and most people here don't think that we need it.
Okay. So
But it's not something that we should strive out to go, because we've been so busy trying to meet our deadlines, and we haven't been able to meet them lately. That why should we implement something that will take up more time to train people and learn?
Understandable. I completely get it. What other problems have stemmed from you guys, basically having the people come in and try to take your employees? What other problems have you experienced?
Those, and since we don't have a set system where all the files and numbers are in place, people, one salesperson uses Microsoft Word, Outlook, Excel, so all the information is scattered and up in the air.
Right.
There's no set thing. So we have the project engineer and the customer engineer. The customer engineer deals with the customer and closing the sale, and then the project engineer deals with as a project manager basically during the refurbishment, and then we have the technicians that actually do the work.
Right.
So when we're trying to find information for a customer,
it's all over the place.
It's all over the place.
And then some people don't even use those different applications; they just keep it in their mind.
Exactly.
And then that also poses a threat to your company, because as competitive as the market is right now, and you're especially being that you are in such a specialized market, with refurbishing, it's very easy to have these people walk out with your information, pretty much your entire customer base. And then before you know it, you can be out of business. Somebody else has all your contacts and all your information, because with each employee that's walking out, you have, all their information from the people that they work so closely with.
Harms us more. We lose their sale and all their info.
Right. So then that's definitely a security issue that could also be, posing a threat to you guys. So you would consider that more of a must-have.
Definitely.
Safe to say that?
We want to keep all our customer info in one place so we don't lose it when an employee leaves the company.
Okay, so you have considered a system that could securely contain all of your customer information. You just haven't gotten around to it.
We've never explored the option.
Okay, so you haven't explored it. Okay, so basically we'll revisit this topic in a little bit, but I just wanted to know, how is AMCOT doing with respect to customer service at the moment? Any complaints?
Lately, with customer service, since all the information is up in the air and everywhere, we had to redo some projects. We had to do 10% of our last year's projects.
10%. And how many did you have last year?
We had roughly 1,000.
Okay. So 10% of 1,000, 100 projects. So
and then redoing those projects takes up time and valuable money.
Wow. So I would ask, how much of an effect does this have on your budget? You said 10%. So being that I believe all your customer engineers get paid an extra 10 hours for their rework, and then all the project engineers get paid an extra 20 hours per engineer for their rework.
Depending on the work, 20 to 40 hours.
Oh wow. So 100 times that, I guess I can estimate that that's probably another 30,000 hours for the customer engineer, and another 100,000 hours for your product engineers, which is a grand total of 130,000 hours that your company's spending just last year on,
rework,
simple mistakes, things that could have been, taken care of beforehand if we didn't have those type of issues. So I want to get to the root of the issue. What's causing all the errors for the most part? Would you say it's a lack of organization, maybe?
Definitely.
Having so many different avenues, you have the Access, you have Microsoft Outlook, you have Excel, you have people writing on paper, you have people keeping stuff in memory.
Definitely disorganization and like a lack of morale.
A lack of morale.
Since they have to work with the customer and then manage that, they also have to do admin work since there's no set system.
Right.
So on top of all their extra work, they have to do all the admin work, which that's why some of the engineers have been leaving.
I definitely understand your concern with all this, and this, for you guys to be at the place you are right now, which is pretty much on top of the game, this is a really big threat to your company, and you want to keep AMCOT, at industry standards pretty much. So basically Sales Cloud offers an organized system. So instead of using all your customer information between Microsoft Outlook and Excel and Access and paper and people keeping things in their heads and causing all these types of errors because okay, we're humans, yeah, we can be better than machines, but at the same time there's always room for error.
Yeah.
So we're going to forget things, but if we were to have it in a centralized system, would you say that maybe that could pretty much reduce that 10% of rework that you have to do based on errors?
Definitely. I don't know about the 10%, because having a CRM system, we're not entirely sure how that would give us a benefit. It would help us with organization, but other than that, we don't really see how it could benefit us.
Well, I mean, pretty much you have different departments and you have your different engineers that handle different aspects of the job. With the CRM, with the Sales Cloud system that we have, these people would have access at different points to the same system, essentially, to get the information that they need. And it would be more quality information because, it's being put in and you almost don't even really need an administrator. It's, you put in information in different logs and it keeps it for you. So basically they can access it from mobile phones, from tablets, from desktops, laptops. So it's, it goes around the entire company and it creates more of a fluidity between the information that's there. So, it can, just pretty much travel freely between departments, keeping everybody in the loop of what's going on as far as the customer is concerned. So,
and do you guys have a mobile app, like an iPhone app?
Yeah, we definitely have an app that you can install on any of your mobile devices. It doesn't even have to be just the phone, but it could be any of your devices. So your customer engineers and your product engineers and even the technicians, they can actually have access to the same thing and custom, and it really would boost your customer service ratings way higher than it's been as of late. So that's definitely something that I consider, I strongly suggest that we look at. Also, it keeps everything pretty much secure because you don't have it in all these different places.
Yeah.
That's, less chance of error, It keeps everything in a centralized location, it's accessible, and it's a secure location. It's not, walking out with one of your people that you feel like maybe they want to quit. It's not walking out.
It stays with us.
The information stays with AMCOT, which is very important for you also, because you said security was an issue for you guys.
And also, we've been looking at other CRM systems and other companies, and price-wise, how well do you guys match that? Because we know that a CRM system is something we'll need in the future, or possibly in the close future, but obviously now with our rising expenses, it goes into our revenue, so we don't want to pay a big substantial amount.
Well, Sales Cloud is definitely competitively priced. You can customize a package specifically for the needs of AMCOT, so that's definitely going to cut costs because you're not going to be paying for something you don't need. On top of that, when you take into consideration, the 130 plus hours that you had to spend on rework, take into consideration that you will not have to pay those types of fees because pretty much there won't be any rework. You won't have to go back and correct mistakes because there won't be any hiccups like there was before. So in essence, it basically pays for itself because you're not having to pay these people overtime for mistakes that happen because there won't be any mistakes. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it definitely, in essence, pays for itself. It will be, it pretty much can answer all of the problems that AMCOT is having right now at the moment. Basically, I just wanted to know if there were any other concerns other than that, maybe with the time-consuming processes. Have I answered all your questions?
How long would the training be? Because I know when an engineer leaves, there's 6 months training, plus the salary and the expenses that we have to be paid. So how much training would be needed to learn the system if we would implement it?
If you were to implement the system, we could have people to your location within the next few business days, and they'd be able to train your staff pretty much within the week. I would say it's not hard to do it all. It's very, people are usually technologically savvy, but even for the people who aren't, it's very simple. It's very clear cut, and it gives you all the information. It's right there, and it pretty much, like I say, it sells itself. You're really saving a lot of money and a lot of capital from just investing in something that makes your job easier, and it makes it better for your customers as well. So is it safe to say that there aren't any other obstacles that you guys have encountered as of late?
Not that I can think of. Just the main, keeping the information stored in one place. That was the big issue, and security issues.
So keeping in one place, security issues I've already addressed. Keeping the information pretty much secure and keeping it moving throughout the departments as it's needed instead of keeping it walking around freely pretty much. So we've already addressed that concern. So is there any time or date, maybe next week or so, that I can send some people over that can start to train your staff so we can just go ahead and get this thing started?
Well, I'd have to meet with my board of directors to implement this.
Okay.
But I am interested in the project. I would.
James, right? The board director, who's in charge.
He's the CEO, so we have to meet with the board of directors on major decisions. But I do like the product. I would like to sign it again. I would have to meet with them. Right.
And like I said, keeping the budget in mind, keeping how much it's saving you from, going ahead and paying all for, rework, I would definitely think that he'd be on board. So I'm anxious to meet with you guys, hopefully next week sometime, maybe
yes.
Let's say Monday at 2, would that be okay?
Yes, let me see, Monday at 2. How's 3 o'clock?
3 is perfect.
Okay, great.
Okay, so
we'll
thank
keep in
you,
touch,
Chris.
see you
yes,
next
we
week.
Will. All right.
Bye, thank you.
Thank you for having me.